Okay, we're here to talk about the Passport and its GUI, how to access it, and how to run it. You can do it two ways. You can either click on the taskbar, or you can use the keyboard command key, which I'm going to use now. The first screen that you'll see gives you two choices. You can manage your lenses, or you can take a picture. Now, managing the lenses will allow you to add, delete, or modify any of the lens scales that are currently in it. That's an advanced setting that we'll get into in another video. But right now, for normal daily use, you're going to want to click Take Picture. When you click the Take Picture button, you're going to see on the right-hand side, you're going to choose what lens that you're using, what aperture that you're going to shoot at, and what magnification you're using. All those combined determine the actual step size. To the left of that, you'll have an up and a down button. These will control the movement of the electronic rail, up and down. This is where you would hit start here and stop here. When you're looking at your live view and you have a starting point, you click start here. It registers that point. When you get down to the bottom of your subject, you simply click stop here and it registers that point. You can choose slice overlap here to increase or decrease the overlap of a slice. For normal running, we're just going to leave this at 0. The dwell is set for 3 seconds. Now the dwell is the time that the camera rests between shots. 3 seconds has been set as the default because these lights require 3 seconds when fired at full power. Normal operating, you're going to be shooting, you have a recycle time of 2 seconds or less, so you can change that if you wish. The calculated steps will show you, based on your start point and stop point and your step size, how many steps will be taken. Below that, you can choose the size of the step that you're manually controlling. When it's on infinite, as long as you hold down the up button or down button, the rail will continue to move. If you select anything other than infinite, the rail will only move that amount every time you press the button. These are what we call focusing jogs. So these are coarse, medium, and fine. You can also simply focus by, for lack of a better word, just tickling the buttons up and down. There's enough of a lead in here to where you'll be able to get a really good focus. We'll go over this in practical application when we have Capture One opened. Lastly is this big red stop sign, and that's the stop button. If you've initiated a stack run and you need to stop it, you can open it up, click the stop button, and it will abort the stack. Sometimes that happens when you're setting up a stack and you've forgotten to put a diffuser in, or you've set things incorrectly. You don't want to wait for a whole series to finish. You just hit the stop button. And that's it. The next bit we'll see is we'll start Capture One, and then we can see a practical application of what these controls are actually doing to our image. Okay, back again. This is a supplement. This is going to detail how you can do lens scale adjustments in the Passport. This is sort of an advanced move, but you right-click on the Passport in the taskbar, and then you right-click where it says VD Passport, and you select Run as Administrator. You cannot delete, modify, or save a lens file unless you run this as an administrator. This is a fail-safe. It prevents people from deleting lens files by accident. So now you go into Manage Lenses. Let's edit a lens. We'll go into our 100mm macro and hit Edit Lens. Let's change the last, okay, these are the f-stops, and these are the magnifications. These are the step sizes in millimeters. So, for instance, at f8, at 1 to 1.5 is 1 millimeter. At 1 to 1.2 is 1.6 millimeters, and so on. These were done using a depth of field gauge from Edmunds Optics, who actually photographed the depth of field gauge. So these are on accurate. So let's say I want to change this one. So from 6.7, I'll change it to 8.0. Whoops. I need one of those. And I hit save. And it says lens saved. Okay. Now when I go to manage my lenses, the 100 millimeters down here on the bottom. Every time you edit the lens, it goes down to the last lens built, saved, or edited. So let's say I look at this. I want to edit that. Yep, the 8 is there. 6.7 is gone. Okay, so let's say I want to delete a lens. I can grab this lens. Let's say I don't want it anymore, or let's say I don't use it at all, or for whatever reason it's screwed up. Delete lens, yes, delete it. It's gone. Okay, let's say I want to add a new lens. So let's make a new lens, and we'll call it, let's call it a 35 millimeter wide, which we aren't using for stacking. But let's say the f-stops on this thing are going to be 4, and then 5.6, and then 8. That's all we're going to use. And let's say our magnification is going to be 1, 2, and 3. And we'll just do some step sizes. 1, 2, 3. You would have to deduce what your depth of field is for any lens you're doing this for, and there's a whole method of how to do that. But I'm just showing you how to set up the actual fields. So you do that, and you're going to 35 millimeter wide, you're going to hit save. It says, okay, it's saved. And you're going to manage lenses, and there you go. There's your lens. So now, when you go to take picture and you choose your lens, you've got that as an option. Okay? So now, whoops. Now that we've purposely totally screwed the lens fields up, we go into Manage Lenses and say, now how do I get back to this? I inadvertently eliminated my 100 millimeter lens, and I've added this other duplicate. Let's get rid of this lens. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Let's leave it for now, because we're going to have to get rid of this whole lens file. And where is the lens file? I'll show you where that is. So we're going to close this out and close that out. If you go into your computer and you go into your boot drive and your program's x86, you've got VD Passport here. You've got a thing here that says lensfile.lfs. That is your lens file. That's the one that's actually running in the program. So that's the one that's not working well. So we got to go find the original one. So we go into this, we go into your setup files, we go under New Passport, and here's a copy of your lens file. So we right click on that and we copy it. And we go back into Program Files, and we go into VD Passport, and we take this lens file and we delete it. And we hit Continue, and we take our new lens file and we paste it. Click Continue, and we close this out. Now we can start the program again, manage lenses, and look, we're back to where it was, square one. We have our 100 millimeter on top, and it's 6.7. There's no 35 millimeter wide, so we've basically erased or deleted the entire old screwed up lens table and replaced it with a new one. That's kind of handy to have. That's it. There's not much more to it. From this, we've shown you how to basically edit a lens, add a new lens, or delete a lens, or replace the entire lens file. That's it.